Once upon a time in this great country, people were proud of this place, proud of being the greatest country in the history of civilization, or, as it's more commonly referred to as, the United States of America. Yeah, all you haters can laugh at that, but it's true. Anywhere across the country you want, was more than likely you would hear this at least once. Now, what a beautiful sound, USA. But now, we've gone from loving this country to having a president trying to literally tear it apart. Joe Biden delivered a speech just a little while ago all about the soul of America. But it was nothing we haven't heard before, and nothing that will actually help all the problems Joe Biden's caused in the last 18 months. But we'll get to that a little later. For now, let's take a quick break and go back to the bad old days when America was just as low as some would argue we are today. Now, after the Jimmy Carter years, America was a mess. And let's just say we were A, a global embarrassment. That sounds familiar. Okay. B, we had skyrocketing out of control gas prices. Also sounds familiar. And C, Carter not only let Iran take American hostages and humiliate us, but he let the American economy collapse under record inflation. Now, wait a minute. We have that too. This also sounds, there might be a pattern here. But anyway, let me not digress by going down the rabbit hole of all the exact parallels to what we're seeing today and we saw in the Carter years. But we can all agree that during the Carter presidency, America was not great. In fact, it was terrible. But then there was hope. Because when Ronald Reagan came around and said we needed to unite, that we all needed to be steadfast to turn things around, it gave us hope. You remember the good old days that followed, don't you? Don't you? When it was morning in America.
It's morning again in America. Today, more men and women will go to work than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the record highs of 1980. This afternoon, 6,500 young men and women will be married. And with inflation at less than half of what it was just 4 years ago, they can look forward with confidence to the future. It's morning again in America. And under the leadership of President Reagan, our country is prouder and stronger and better. Why would we ever want to return to where we were less than 4 short years ago?
And then he said it. Did he say it? He said it. The magic words, the words we know now as MAGA, the same ones that today mean domestic terrorist. But let's roll back the tape. Maybe it wasn't Donald Trump. Who said it first?
Our destiny is not our fate. It is our choice. And I'm asking you, as I ask all Americans, in these months of decision, please join me as we take this new path. You and your forebears built our nation. Now, please help us rebuild it. And together, we'll make America great again. Thank you very much.
Ronald Reagan said it? Heavens to Murgatroyd. Does this make Ronald Reagan the original domestic terrorist? He was a MAGA Republican. Does that mean Joe Biden thinks this? Ronald Reagan, too, is the leader of this domestic terrorism movement? Take a look.
The MAGA Republicans don't just threaten our personal rights and economic security. They're a threat to our very democracy.
Ronald Reagan, one of the great presidents of this country, maybe one of the greatest, is a threat to our very democracy, according to Joe Biden. But what is a MAGA Republican? If you listen to the array of hacks that call themselves experts and blurt out this fake knowledge over on the fake news, you would hear that MAGA people are a bunch of white supremacists. And the red hat is the new modern-day swastika. But what do MAGA people really want? That's the question. What we want is simple. We want all of us to come together and make America great again. Back in 1980, the stench of Carter's catastrophic presidency was still wafting through the White House walls. But this Reagan rallying cry really worked. And Make America Great Again was born, and it actually became all of us. Now, don't just take my word for it. Don't blindly believe me when I say we all need to come together to be united. You gotta be united to be the United States of America. But take a look. Here's exactly what happened across this country when Ronald Reagan started the MAGA movement. Virtually, it was all red. And then America went on an amazing run. Civil rights improved. The Cold War ended. The American economy was pumping. Simply put, America was thriving. And America was great again. But don't get it twisted. This idea of wanting America to be great, which is now apparently the greatest threat out there, it's not only been a Republican belief. After Reagan, Bill Clinton became a card-carrying member of the MAGA Mafia too when he announced his candidacy.
I ask you to join with us today, to give me your hands and your hearts, to give me your prayers and your help. I believe that together we can make America great again.
All right, so let me get this straight. Reagan went out there and said, MAGA, and he won, and things were great. And then Clinton said it. He said MAGA, and he won, and things were pretty much great again also. So what are today's Democrats really afraid of? It's not Trump. It's not MAGA people like they're pretending. Maybe there's a little bit of that. But what progressives and the socialists don't want is for us to be united. We can once again be great, but that's what they fear. Think about how sick that is. These people fear a great America. These people, they don't want us to be great at all. To Joe Biden, every person that ever uttered the words, "Let's make America great again," is officially tainted by the divider-in-chief. And according to him, if you're MAGA, you're an extremist threat. Don't believe me? Take a look. This is what he had to say just the other day, once again using January 6th to demonize Republicans and turn Americans against each other.
Let me say this to my MAGA Republican friends in Congress. Don't tell me you support law enforcement if you won't condemn what happened on the 6th. Don't tell me. Can't do it. For God's sake, whose side are you on?
They're pushing this message hard, and they're really pushing it onto their base because they want to divide us. And also they're pushing it onto the newly weaponized DOJ and FBI that we, anyone who supports making America great again, are domestic terrorists. And we're the threat to this country for simply wanting it to be great. It seems to me more and more each day that they're trying to tear down America. Not just keep it from being great, but actively trying to make it worse. And you want to know something? They ain't shy about it. Oh, no, they're not. Remember back in 2020, Democrat Majority Leader Chucky Schumer said it right to our face.
Now we take Georgia, and then we change America.
You heard that, right? They want to change America. And everything we believe in is either being torn down or papered over. Boys are now able to compete in women's sports. That don't sound right. Moms are now deemed the birthing people. It made it through every facet of our culture, too. We lost our dear members of our food family. Aunt Jemima, gone. Good old Uncle Ben, gone. Even the delicious after-dinner treat, the Eskimo pie, gone, gone, gone. I can't believe they took the Eskimo pie. That one killed me. You know, these days, Disney, who's supposed to be all about the kids, they support the socialist school union leaders like Randy Weingarten, and they're pushing this CRT and sex and race on our children, and that's A-OK. At the same time, the DOJ is chasing down soccer moms after school board meetings, and now add it to the list. This just in. If you like making America great again, you're a threat to democracy. Are they changing America? I think they are. I mean, Chuck Schumer told us point blank, and we didn't believe him in 2020. Not only are they changing America, they're making it worse. And they're getting worse along with it. Now that they've completed the illegal raid on Trump's home, I think they're taking aim at us, we the people. And to me, Joe Biden just declared war on all Americans who want to make this country great again.
And for those brave right-wing Americans who say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe, if you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun.
Is this too much to ask in supposedly the freest country on earth? This is what the president is saying to us? Can we support a political ideology that Democrats and Republicans have embraced for decades and not have to worry about the FBI raiding our homes or threatening for F-15 fighter jets to buzz our neighborhood? Is that too much? I don't know. I'm telling you. You might think that they'd say, hey, this is getting a little obvious here. We just raided Trump's home. Let's lay back a little bit. But no, they're doubling down. And in this humble Goomba's opinion, they're taking it to the next level. And Joe is once again telling us how they're going to change America. Scary stuff, folks. And they're basically classifying any red hat wearing MAGA supporter who wants his country to be great as people who need to be surveilled, followed, who knows, maybe even wiretapped. They did that to the president, as a domestic terrorist under the Patriot Act. And if you get a little more out of line, the DOJ, FBI may very well just start throwing us in jails with no due process and uncharged pretrial detentions. Think that sounds crazy? You think I'm kidding? Dozens of men and women are rotting in prison for wearing red hats and expressing their freedom of speech, and no one cares. Exhibit A, January 6th prisoners, was a test run. Now that they know what they can do to them, next, they'll be coming for you or me. But I'll tell you this, I'm proud to want to make America great again. So, hey, Joe Biden, hey, Merrick Garland, to save you some money on the surveillance, I'm admitting it. I'm a MAGA Republican, and this bud's for you. If you want to find me, you know where I'm at. Joe